All right. Hi, Steph. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Hey, welcome to Behind the Anvil. I'm Mike. You can call me Mike, Michael, anything but late for dinner. But
Right.
speaking of dinner, we had spaghetti last night, and I
Ooh.
told the kid not to cook all the noodles. Well, so what you do? I want a lot of noodles, so she cooks a lot of noodles. So we have leftover noodles, no sauce. So I had to go get some more sausage today. So cooking more spaghetti, which really it tasted really good. But
Honestly,
speaking
I'm
of
a sucker for
cooking,
spaghetti.
what's that?
I said, honestly, I'm a sucker for spaghetti, so I get it.
I'm trying to stay away from it because I'm a big boy, but man, them carbs sometimes just Achilles heel here. You know, speaking
Same.
of, household thing, bills and everything. Well, the show's got to pay the bills. Well, who pays the bills? That's Mike's Damascus Knives. And how's that work? Well, I make custom knives. I make custom kitchen cutlery, and words are going to be apparently hard again today. From kitchen cutlery to EDCs to hunt knives to that custom go out in the woods, whack it, chop down things. I do it. So go to mikesdamascusknives.com, send us an email there, or give me a call. Or if you're on Facebook, it's Mike's Damascus LLC, and Mike D Knives on Instagram, and just plain Google it. So yeah, so I think I got my plug in for paying the bills. So Steph, I'm going to turn it over and let's let you plug all your stuff and tell us about your book.
Okay. Well, I'm a very new author. I just barely started publishing, but I've been writing for since middle school. So it's very new to me. All of this kind of stuff is very new to me. I've not done many podcasts and stuff, but I'm glad to be here. And if you like to read, check out my books.
Where can they find you or find your
I
book?
am on I have my books on Amazon. I'm doing tons of events up to November. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the things, mostly under SL Kunz. So
Yeah. Okay, so you have a website by chance or not yet?
I do. It's www.slkunz.com.
Sweet.
And that'll have all my links.
And from we met the other day. We had the Small Business Fest back in
Hmm.
May. Yes, it's
Yes.
still June, right? June's almost over.
Right.
Do you believe that?
No, I can't. It's crazy.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. Um, and looking at it, it looks like it's a spicy no romance novel.
Yes.
So, what made you go with writing spun? I mean, can you kind of describe a little bit about the book without getting too spicy and it melts down the computer
Oh,
and the
yeah.
internet screams at us and YouTube's like, that's too spicy.
That's
So,
just too crazy. Yeah, no, so it's a series of 4 books and they're spicy rock star romances. So each book follows a different member of the same band and their little love story. So,
nice. So is that like chili powder spicy or cayenne spicy, habanero spicy?
on a scale of 1 to 5, I've been told they're a 3 to 4. So fairly spicy, not too
Hmm.
crazy, but
Hey,
enough
that
to be
works.
exciting.
So you said you've been writing since middle school. What did you write when you
Hmm.
and what did that bring it down, Michael? Get a hold of yourself. Probably shouldn't drink an energy drink earlier today, but I was trying to get stuff in the shop done and I was dragging butt.
No,
So
I
you
get that.
said you started writing in middle school. What inspired you in middle school to start writing?
Well, I always really loved writing. Like whenever we were in English class and we had to do some kind of creative writing story, that was always my favorite thing to do. I loved it. But, those were just like little things. And what really got me into it was I went to see the first Lord of the Rings movie with my family in the theater. And it was such a great story and I loved it so much. And I was just like, that's what I want to do. So
Nice. So what was
I was
some of
like,
the first things you started writing about?
oh, I
I'm
mean,
putting
pretty
you on the
much cheap
spot here, girl.
knockoffs.
So
No, that's fine. Cheap knockoffs of Lord of the Rings. I was all into the fantasy stuff.
putting you in the spotlight here. Oh,
That's fair.
right
I've
on.
always been into fantasy stuff, so that's what really started it, and then it just kind
So
of evolved from there.
do you remember some of your early writings? What kind of along that lines?
I do. I still have the very first one that I started. It's on my shelf back there, actually, like the very first handwritten copy and everything. And it was about an elf girl, and there was like a big battle going on with, they weren't orcs, but they were similar. And I can't even remember what I called them. I haven't read it for a long time, but yeah.
Politicians? Oh, did I say that out loud?
Hey, close enough.
Yeah, that's cool. I kind of did the I didn't realize I did try like sixth or seventh grade, tried to do some writing, and
Yeah.
I am terrible with spelling, grammar, and pronunciation, or even just sounding things out. But thank God I
Yeah.
got cell phones now. It's going to help. And I tried to write it with
Right.
the best way I could, and I get frustrated. Or something. Everyone's like, "Well, get a dictionary thesaurus." Says I really don't have time to stop, look through a book, try to figure out what word to use. But this was back in the day.
Yeah.
I've been working on, and it's literally been 10 years now. So I guess since I started it, and I got a
Hmm.
big chunk of it, and then my business took off, and I didn't get to write in as much as I did because I was paying more attention to my business. And I'm like,
Right.
I would say I'm three-quarters of the way done with it, but uh,
That's not bad.
apparently my mom still got little copies of books and everything of stuff I started writing in the back when I was a kid. I didn't realize I was like, well, you had stuff in elementary. You're trying to write books. I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of cool.
That
So
is cool.
I guess a little too much ADHD and a little bit of the tism and such. You just couldn't
Same.
focus. But
Yeah.
what are some of the and we this you'll be my third author interviewing on here, which was fun. Um,
That is cool.
I had Doug Barry on, and he does children's books called Jasper the Rabbit.
Okay.
You get a
Okay.
chance, your kids would probably love Jasper the Rabbit.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
free of that.
definitely look into them.
And on Amazon, you can find him on Amazon. His episode will
Okay.
drop in about a couple weeks, but just Google Jasper the Rabbit and it'll pull it right up. Really cool little book,
Yeah.
funny illustrated. And then I did, um, oh, my friend Jeff Christensen. I can't remember her author name right off my back, and I can't think of the name of the book either. But forgive me, you go back, you can see the episode of that.
Yeah, I'll look.
But it's kind of cool to see everybody's different inspiration for writing
Yeah.
and everything. What are some of the struggles that you in your writing and actually sitting down and you know you come up with your storyline, your characters, and such like that? That stuff I understand.
Right.
What are some of the struggles that you had, and how did you overcome them?
So you wouldn't really know it, but I'm pretty dyslexic. So that's a struggle. And then, the ADHD, and I do have a touch of the tism as well. So that's always been hard, which is probably why I've never finished anything up till now. So, but really, it's just that. And you just really kind of have to power through until you kind of finally get the hang of things and you're like, okay, yeah, maybe I can do this. So,
Yeah. And that's one thing I have a problem with me when I'm writing. I like to
mhm.
handwrite. I don't type
I
because
was like that too.
I've tried typing. I can thumb it really, really fast. Um,
There's
but
always text to speech.
yeah, it don't like me until AI gets a little smarter, can translate me how the way I talk.
Yeah.
Because apparently I talk in shorthand too. But like I said, when I write, I got to go literally. If I don't say it as I write, it was a beautiful day. I'll actually be writing, and I swear to God, I'll see the letter like I need to put it in that spot.
Yeah.
I'll literally skip it, but my brain puts it there like I wrote it.
Hmm.
Go back and reread
I
it.
understand.
Do you have
Totally
any of
get
that?
it.
Do you ever have that kind
I
of
do.
issue?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not alone, thank God.
No, you are not alone.
Or the dyslexic, or I'll write it completely backwards. I mean, it's the saying,
Yeah.
you'll take like a little saying. I'll say it completely
Mhm.
backwards. It means the same thing, but just said backwards. Um,
Right.
it's just kind of funny. So, so I'm guessing you type all yours, or do you sit down and handwrite stuff
Um,
out
I
first, or?
I hand wrote up until a couple of years ago, and then I really started getting. I mean, I'm a fairly fast typer. I've always been pretty good at it. I just preferred to write it. But then when I'm going back through and I start over on something and I'm like, oh, I need to, do a new draft to rewrite the whole thing, it takes so much time. So I'm like, maybe it's time I go digital and type it. So I
And,
did.
and that's what I'm doing is I might try. I actually did an email and voiced it, and my computer kept up with it.
Oh,
So
good.
maybe it's
One thing you could try, there's this program, it's called Dragon Naturally Speaking. I used it years ago. And so the way it works is you train it to your specific cadence and your accent so it can understand you really well. And it works really, really good.
ooh, might have to try that out. I've been
Yeah.
typing.
So
I've
maybe
been
look
using.
into it.
I'll have to. I've been typing it in. My daughter will type. She'll do some typing for me. There for a while when she wanted some money. It's like, go type me 5 pages. I'll give you five
Right.
dollars a page, and she'll run in there.
Yeah.
And she, but and I think she had to stop for a while she's teenager and high school
Right.
stuff. But she was typing it, and she's like, I think she got to look into Dad's mind, and it kind of. She's
Mm.
like, I wrote a dream in there, and I thought it would sound pretty good. And she's like, Dad, you're demented. And for as I'm reading it, I'm seeing it, and I had to go back and put words in it, and she put words that were missing, because
Yeah.
she's learning how to speak Dad. Um, and I've had a few other people read it, so it was missing words, but once it gets edited, I pay. So far, if people are telling me the truth, sounds pretty good and gets the point and such like
Yeah.
that. But so how did you get chose a rock star romance kind of thing? What brought that on? I'm guessing you must be into
Um,
rock and roll and
I am. Yeah, for
awesome.
sure. I have been for since I was a teenager. And honestly, I picked that one just because I have so many fantasy stories that I want to do, but it takes so much more to do those because you have to world build. Whereas if you do something that takes place in our world, the world's already built. So I'm just, plopping characters in and it's good to go. So I figured let's start with something easier. And that's the one that I happened to have the most work done on. So I'm like, we'll go with that one.
Nice.
So,
All right. So you got three, you got four of them out. Your fourth book just dropped. Let's start with
yep.
one. Walk us through that book.
So the first one is about the singer, the front man. And so he's very arrogant and egotistical, and he's just kind of not a very nice guy for like
So
half of
he's
the book.
perfect. Oh, no.
Yeah. So he has a favorite groupie that they keep getting together, and he doesn't really care to ask much about her. She's just kind of there. But she's kind of attached to him. And anyways, long story short, she kind of ends up pregnant on accident. So she comes back and lets him know. And he's just like, well, I'm not going to have anything to do with that. But then he finds out a lot more about her, and she's got some medical issues, and he decides to step up and take care of her because she doesn't have anybody else. So there's like, that forced proximity. And then he kind of finds out more about her along the way and realizes that there's a lot more to her than he thought there was.
Nice. And that transitions through the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
So each book is about the same band, just different
Mm-hmm.
members, right? Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Um, I'm not giving the trying to give away too much of your book. We want people to go find your book and everything.
Right.
Um, I'm guessing this is more geared to the women kind of read.
Typically, yes.
Okay. That's fine. Are your books available on audiobook by chance yet or
Not yet. I am working on it. I'm actually working with a couple of narrators to do a dual POV on Audible. And they're going to be recording some snippets to see if they mesh well together. And then they're going to get back to me and we'll see where it goes. But I am working on it.
so if somebody's listening and just heard that, it's like, oh, how do I do? I know you can get on Google, but can you give some steps on how would they get their book narrated? They got something like that, and they're getting really close to publish it, or they published and they having issues. Walk them through on how to do that.
Okay. I mean, I will tell you what I know because I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
very new it too. I'm still figuring it out. But the way I started, so there's a website called ACX, and it's through Amazon. It's Audible. and narrators will put their little snippets of their voices on there, so you can contact them and say, hey, would you be interested in? So I found my male narrator on there, and then I also found the female narrator just through TikTok. She's just barely starting out, and I was like, hey, I really like the sound of your voice, would you be interested? And so then I got them in contact together, and they're working on that, and then they'll get back to me, and we'll see if it's all gonna vibe.
I understand that. I mean, I listen to, a truck driver over the road
Yeah,
when we go over the road. I like to listen to audiobooks. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
right.
And I mean, there's some good talk host radios. There's some that are okay.
Right.
When it comes to audiobook, I listen to Brad Thor books. I got my daughter hooked on them. I got my kids hooked on
Yeah.
them when we were doing a big trip, and ever since then, she's been listening to 'em. She's way ahead of me in the series, and I got to get caught up. I'm just being cheap and
Yeah.
listening to the free version of Spotify on my phone because I'm cheap.
I
But
get that.
when I bought some of my first original books, and it was a different reader, different voice,
Mhm.
older guy. And I'm like, of course, I'm later in the series and I'm jumbled up and everything. I'm trying to collect all these books on audio and
Right.
paperback. Um, it's like, okay, the older guy sounded okay. The guy did really good, but the new guy
Yeah.
really sets it. Um, and it's like I've listened to a lot of other books, and it's just for some reason, certain books um, are read really good by men. There's certain books that's read really good by women.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever listened to one that had a dual man and woman.
Yeah.
That intrigues me. I'd be looking forward to listening to some of that.
Yeah. I
But
feel like when you're right, a dual, because the books are dual POV. So one chapter is from him and one chapter is from her, and it alternates. So
mhm,
I feel like if you're going to do that, it's kind of important to have the narrators reflect that too. So
fair. Um, so why did you chose to do it like that? I mean, do you do like a third person out looking in, or it's just their thoughts?
it
Like,
is first person. Everything is first person. And like I said, each chapter alternates between the male and the female.
so how did
So
you web that together, tie that all in for? I'm assuming that I'm sitting here trying to think like, how would I do that? I mean, without sounding too bionic, I guess you could say.
you really gotta kind of just fake it till you make it and try really hard to just put yourself right in that character's shoes of, okay, so if I was this type of personality, how would I react to this, what would I say to this, and it can be challenging for sure, especially if the character is very different from your own personality. But honestly, I that's my favorite way to write. I love doing that.
Nice. I've never thought about that, honestly. I'm
It's
not,
very popular in the romance genre, so
well, I'm not much of a romance guy. I mean, I was trying to do the dating thing here a while back and then reading profiles and such like that. If they didn't have something to
yeah,
read, I kind of swipe left. But
yeah.
a lot of women is like, oh, you need to be emotional available. I'm reading, and I'm like, what the fuck is emotional? Pardon my French.
No, you're good.
What is emotionally available mean? I mean, are you dating robots here or something? I mean,
Right.
I my brain's like, what's emotional baby available mean? I'm sure you got to try to catch that in your characters.
Yeah.
How do you do that kind of writing it so you can capture? I mean, for me, there's a scene in my book that he thinks he broke. I'm going to kind of break it down. He thinks he broke his ankle. He rolled it, got in a hurry, trying to get to a this location of his that a support area. It's a
Mhm.
post-apocalyptic survival scenario. Um, so I mean, and trying to hoof it through a snowstorm, rolls his leg on a rock, sprains the living hell out of his ankle to the point he thinks he broke it. It's because it's so bruised and everything else. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
capture that emotion in there, and it's fresh. I'm stuck right there because me, I'm like, and I was talking about with Doug on this last episode. I'm stuck on trying to like, I just need to write it down, but part of me is like, no, let's try to get it somewhat right.
Yeah.
But I mean, how do you get, I guess, the emotion into your writing?
Well, lucky for me, I'm just very emotional to begin with. Like all of my emotions are just, I feel all the things all the time. So for me, it kind of comes easily.
Hmm.
So I don't know that I can give very good advice on that just
Oh,
because
that's okay. Hey, we're just having a
I'm just
conversation.
emotional.
So, I mean,
So
I'm sure that works really good for the woman character, but how do you translate that into for the male character? I mean, I mean, without making him, if that makes any sense, a blubbering idiot.
right. No. Yeah, no, it makes sense. I don't know. It's kind of hard, I guess, because yeah, I don't. Obviously, you're not gonna describe emotions the same from a male perspective as you would a female perspective. So it's like I really have to put myself into that male embodiment without like to get the idea across without making them seem like, you know. So like it's hard to, but I just kind of, I just, I mean, I've had a lot of relationships, I guess. So maybe I'm just good at observing the male species. And I just try to say, okay, well, if I knew somebody that was similar to this guy, how would he have reacted to this? What would have his thoughts been in this situation? And I just try to do the best that I can, I guess.
Hey, that's cool. Like I said, don't have fun with this. Just kind of I'm trying
Yeah,
to get an idea how you're doing your writing because it's really cool to hear other people's writing style because I want to learn and maybe
yeah,
this will help me get me through my shit. And
right. Well,
but
I'm by no means a professional, but I am willing to do whatever I can,
what is professional anyway? I mean,
right?
so I mean that's just a drip under pressure, I think, personally.
Yeah,
Or is that
that's
an
true.
expert? Sorry, that's an expert.
I mean,
Expert is a drip under pressure. So, um, so book one, you got the lead singer. He's kind of an arrogant
mhm,
asshole.
yeah,
Um, kind of band thing, the roadie hookup. She comes, hey, yeah, you're the dad, and of course he's like,
yeah,
yeah, and and then along the lines of that kind of interaction, and I guess I'm sure that beginning of it's back and forth fighting, kind of.
oh yeah,
So I don't want to give too away. I'm just trying to get an idea of that. So I'm guessing without giving the ending away, things kind of work out in the right way, and then it builds up
yeah,
to the next book. Correct?
yes. So
How did you?
it's a happily ever after, which is the term in
Or is
romance
it? Dun
world.
dun dun.
Yes,
Well,
but then
we
it
want
leads
people
into
to.
the next book. So
So next book, who's up in the next book? Who's up
the
for the
next
chop?
book is the drummer.
And he
He's a
usually's
special
got the
boy,
best seat in the house, right between the. You ever seen
right?
the movie Rockstar?
Yes,
Oh, that's a good movie. That
it
is a
is a good
fun.
movie.
That is. If
I
you
need to
haven't checked
watch it
out
again.
Rockstar, check it out. Like that's a funny movie.
Yes,
So same kind of scenario. Or what? How do you? I mean, how you? Without trying to repeat your stuff and repeat, how do you?
right.
How did you mix it up between the first one and now the second one?
Well, the second one is it's very different. If it's I've been told that it's different because it reads like a technical manual. And I'm like, well, it's supposed to because the drummer is slightly autistic. So his
Okay.
mind works much
Oh,
differently than the singer did in the first one. So the writing style is very different in that one. So,
that's interesting. So how did you? Was able to channel that a little bit? I mean, how to put you in?
so I did not even plan it to be that way. Honestly, he was the one that I was the most unsure about because I didn't know who he was trying to be. And really, after you find out who your characters are, they really just kind of write themselves. And like at one point, I was just like, okay, so he's basically autistic. And then I'm like, you know what? Looking back on the first book and how he was in the first book, I'm like, that tracks. So then I just rolled with it and it turned out really well.
So you've kind of built each book builds in each character's in every book and kind of
Yes.
build their what's that word I'm looking for? Build your character. Oh, there's words. See, words are hard, so
Words are hard. Words are
um
really hard.
especially trying to find the right word. I mean, I write just says it's in my head, boom, boom, boom. But there's
Yeah.
other way to write it. And my friend, she did the first part, probably the first couple chapters of editing it. Of course, she scratched
Mhm.
out what, put in red what I had it put. I was like, well, from
Yeah.
now on, how about you just edit it? And because I got a hard copy of it all written out how it was.
Mhm.
Because when I was reading it, and then I would read it both ways, and I get myself scrambled. I have to read through what she edited, which,
Yeah.
and of course, she pulled out what is it was kind of it was work for her, but she kind of got the idea as more she dived into the book how I was trying to go with it, and she
Yeah.
made some suggestions. Says you need to add just a little bit here, a little bit more in there, a little more detail,
Mhm.
and so I'm like, cool, but now let's go back to my questions here so I can keep on task here. So, oh, so romance readers often connect deeply with the characters. What do you hope readers take away from your books after finishing the series?
I hope that they take away that there's always more to people than what we see on the surface. Everybody's fighting their own demons and their own struggles and insecurities that we just from the outside we just don't see. So I hope that they can take away that, people can change if a person wants to. They if they have the reason and the drive to, that they can change, and everybody's not perfect, and we all have things going on inside that nobody knows anything about.
Especially being in a, show business kind of rock. I mean, we've seen documentaries and
Oh yeah.
relationships of people in rock bands and how their life goes completely shit, or they come
Yep.
down drugs, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. The fun
Yep.
stuff, right?
Right.
So, so you just kind of take basic real life, put it in there, give some good entertainment, but also maybe leave a life lesson or two.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, book. Okay, we did book two. Tell us a little bit about book three.
So book 3 is the bassist, and honestly, he was probably the easiest to write because he's not as flawed as the other ones. so, um, so he ends up. Let's see. I'm trying to think how I can explain it without getting too spoilery, but
Give a little spoiler.
so
Give me a
yeah,
little
a little
taste.
bit. And so in the first book, we meet a girl, and both the guitarist and bassist kind of think, oh, wow, she's really cool. I really like her. Well, she
Oh,
ends up with the guitarist through the second book, but then he kind of messes things up. And so then the bassist steps in to pick up the pieces.
nice. Okay. White Knight syndrome here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
and does that cause any friction between the characters at all, or?
Oh, absolutely. Because so when the book starts out, you find out that she's actually pregnant by the guitarist, and she was going to tell him before this all went down, and then he messed everything up because he's an alcoholic. So they send him off to rehab.
Oh, okay. And then being a for good friend, trying to pick things up, and things happen.
Yep.
God, this does sound like real
Yep.
life.
It's
Sounds kind of like
very,
Severe
I feel like it's
County.
pretty realistic.
Like I said, it sounds
right?
kind of like Severe County because there's a lot of stories about that. So,
Yeah.
um, so when you doing your character building, I guess, do you do like a little storyboard on the sides on each
So
character, kind of, or
a
you just
little
go
bit.
along as you go?
I pretty much, so there's a lot of people that will outline their entire story. They know where it's going to go every step of the way. I don't do that. I make the characters and then I just go for it. A lot of people prefer the outline, but I feel like the story flows better when I just kind of start and let it go where it's going to go. Cuz if I try to plan stuff, the characters are just like no, and then it goes a different way anyways. So I just stopped trying to do that.
And, for me, I mean, I did in part of some of my book. I went main character, second character, mom, dad. I put the names out because that way, if I get halfway through, because sometimes even though I wrote it, I do remember it,
Right.
but I need to go back for that little reference. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Character
No, totally.
references, main. Um, the book is kind of based off a job I used to have. The character is based off me, but I changed it up so it doesn't seem like I'm doing
Right.
myself right up. Changed him up. Came up with some really weird names. good. I mean, they're old names, but inspired by some friends of mine,
Okay.
and stuff like that. And I did a little bit, didn't do the storyboard or whatever, just write that. So I have that reference and such. Have you ever had to do that, or just you just,
Yeah, I
or
try
you
to
ever?
keep like a little list of like key points and key characters, and then I also like little side characters. I always make sure I write down their names on my little spreadsheet that I have, because otherwise I'll end up reusing names and confusing people. So, because I forget that I've used that, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Right. And that's what I try to do, and I keep it simple. I kept it down to a few characters. Not trying to build up a lot of characters. He has to travel from Rifle, Colorado, back to home here
okay,
on foot. You know, nuclear weapon. We get hit by nukes,
right,
EMP, multiple EMPs, and if we get that, anything, cell phone,
yeah,
anything
yeah,
hard, not shielded, goodbye. Um,
right,
so he ended up having to walk back, and of course he comes from a survival family, kind of based off me a little bit because that's what I like those post pop with it, and my writing style
yeah,
kind of.
I do too.
And I kind of wove in a few books that mentioned a few books that I like. Brad Thor book I mentioned, kind of mentioned his book, and they're paying homage because I really really enjoy his books.
Okay,
The Scott Harbav. I need to reach out and see if I could get him on here. I would die if I could get him on here. And I'd
that
have
would be
to
cool.
try not to be a big old fangirl. Ah! But if you ever get a chance, check out Brad Thor books.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
have to.
I like audiobooks because I really don't have the patience to sit down and read. I can
Yeah,
read. I just it's boring. I mean,
yeah.
it really is.
No, I totally
Um,
understand.
so how do you keep your as you're writing everything? But how do you? One of my worries is, hey, am I writing this right? Am I going to keep my audience attention to your book? What have you done to kind of capture them and suck them into your book in your writing style?
Honestly, the main thing is to try to just keep the pacing good. Like try not to make it too slow, because obviously then you're like, when is something good gonna happen? And just try to keep the pacing consistent. And so there's, something going on to keep them pulled in to want to know what's happening next. I think
Nice.
that's probably one of the most important things.
I know that's great. I kind of brings up a question, and it was right there. Now it's going to be gone. Um, oh yeah, trying to keep the pace going, keep it good, but not too fast. But so one thing I noticed about Brad Thor books is he kept his chap, and I was listening to an interview. I was at the end of one of his books, and it was an interview. I'm listening to it, and he wanted it to be fast paced, but I mean, just like you were just saying. So he kept these chapters smaller for each
Yes.
thing. And is that something that you do? I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
chapters
I
that
mean,
are
I
like
try to.
20 pages long. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I try to keep them, like around 10 pages. It doesn't always happen, but I feel like people, if they're reading chapters through all the way faster, they feel like, that it's pacing good. Because I've read books where the chapters are really long, and I'm like, okay, I'll just read to the end of this chapter. And then it's like 30 more pages, and I'm like, what? So I feel like personally, I prefer shorter chapters, and I've talked to a lot of people that are the same way. So,
It's like one social media. And I'm sure you've done that with your book and everything. When you're doing social media, you've got 5 to 10 seconds to
yeah,
capture them and bring it in. And sometimes
exactly.
I try to do, I get bored with it. I try to do videos there for a week. I did a full week. I did a video a day for a week.
Mhm.
Did that really good. It helped out. And of course, I'm trying to shove my whole thoughts down to 30 seconds to a minute, which I can't do. They
Right.
ended up being 3 minutes or less. But
Yeah.
because I don't know, maybe not a good enough vocabulary here to keep it shorter or get to the point. But uh, when you're doing your social media on that, what struggle? And we're going to talk. I'm since I brought that up. What is your struggle about capturing that first 5 to 10 seconds to suck them in, and how you
Um,
overcame that?
I feel like with writing, I've figured that out a little bit easier than I have the social media stuff. Like, because as an indie author, I'm responsible for all my marketing, and marketing is hard. And like, I still don't even know what I'm doing. I just kind of do what I do and then hope for the
But
best. But
I've got some connections to if help on website. I'm sure you got your website pretty good.
yeah,
For marketing, Mallory Betty, I met her back in 19 through a program through the county, and I don't think that program is still there, but she does wonderful. And I
okay.
wouldn't be where I'm at today without her with my social media. She looked at my social media and she just I'm
I feel
trying.
like,
I had no idea. I mean, she showed me more tools
yeah, it's
and
hard.
especially with knives.
Yeah,
Facebook and
I
knife,
can
and I'm
imagine.
not. Apparently, there's another war on us. There for a while. I mean, after the election, it seems like things opened back up. Facebook was playing nice and everything. Now and I'm sure it's just their technology, but
Yeah,
somebody's behind their programming the technology. How can we tweak that for, wow, you make weapons. No, I make cutlery. You eat steel.
right,
Just look like just because it looks mean doesn't mean it's not a tool. Um,
right.
but I mean, the social media marketing is hard. I mean, what have you done so far? So far, I mean, just other. Do you have you done like little reads of little sections of your book, or have you?
Yeah, I'll post like little quotes and little hooks, along with like a picture and some music and stuff. And I do that mostly on like Instagram and TikTok. But that seems to be what works the best book wise. So I'm trying to kind of stick with that, because you look through and you see what works for other authors and what other. I follow a couple of marketing people that are specifically for books, and they say that's usually the best thing that draws people in. So I just
Have you
kind of
ever
try to do what they tell me to.
have you ever used ChatGPT AI? Because I use a lot of that for my marketing because again, words are hard. I put it in, I
Right.
type it in me and say, hey, this is what it's for. This is what I'm trying to do. Spit me out a
Yeah.
short thing. Usually it on 9 out of 10 times it does pretty good. There's that one time that I've got to yell at it and it yells that back at me.
Yeah.
My phone yelled back at me. I'm like, whoa, somebody call Sarah Connor. Um,
yeah.
but have you ever, I mean, a lot of people are throwing
Um,
their shit about AI as writers and
right.
such, but it's
Well,
helped.
that's the thing. Like, I'm not anti AI for the right purposes, but a lot of people do really frown upon it, especially in the creative spaces of like art and writing, because they assume that if you're going to use AI for marketing or a cover or whatever, then the inside of the book must be AI too. So I try to kind of steer clear of that just because I don't want that assumption because it's not true.
Mhm.
So, it's kind of a slippery slope, but
That's understandable. One thing I found with AI, especially when image generating like this is
mhm.
AI here. Um,
Okay.
my buddy Dan, he's Dan DeMille of Valor Printing LLC. Check them out, veteran-owned business. He's got some great comics, Cogs, Keeper of the Gates, does like that, does awesome graphic artists.
Yeah.
I try to type it out words. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Now with AI, I can kind of take AI. Of
Right.
course, he gives me shit. Sarah Connor would be very disappointed in you. I'm sorry, but for trying to get because I can visualize stuff because I
Yeah.
work with metal. Um, I don't do a lot of sketching out and such because I find it very frustrating. I can find
Okay.
myself. It's easier to take that piece of metal, heat it up, bang it out. Okay, we're getting
Yeah.
close. Next one's going to look a bit better. 9 out of 10 times, I usually nail it on the first or second try. Sometimes, or I throw it in the corner and I go in my room and cry.
Yeah.
But using and trust me, it's a fight for me to try to get AI to understand. Either I voice it or I can type it in.
Yeah.
When it came up with this, now I didn't tell it to give it a swear look. It's kind of a swear style anvil with,
Yeah.
as you can see the curves, kind of
Uh-huh.
swedge block look. And so I sent it to him and says, make this look cooler. Now I have an idea. In the section where I'm at here, the reason I have this up because it's not built in. I want to set this up as a really nice studio. And I got
Yeah.
thinking, next time I'm going to sit down and talk with him when he's got a minute, I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to put some stuff up on the wall. It says, hey, draw me a really cool picture. Give me some depth and kind of give me um, basically an artist concept of what the studio, how I want to look at. And then I'll throw it on as
Yeah.
my background. So,
That would be
um,
cool.
but I use AI. I've used AI to write a few little things. I used it to write like a 5 chapter how to get into bladesmithing for $1,000 or less, and I sent it
Okay.
out to a few people, and some gave me some good impact. Yeah, that's good read. Okay, did it make sense to you? Well, yeah. And a couple other people, yeah, I read it, but I don't remember what I thought of it. I'm like, one person's like, well,
Right.
this needs to be 1,000 pages. Like, it's just a simple for somebody to read that doesn't want to dive into it and wants to do just a little bit. Get in
Yeah.
bladesmithing, either just a little bit of side hustle, kind of a roadmap written in words,
Yeah.
basically. I,
Right.
I might send that over to you and get your thoughts on it and see if it makes any
Yeah.
sense. I'm still waiting
I'd
for a
read it.
buddy of mine. He asked me, he's like, send me a list of stuff to get in there. It's like, well, here, I'll send this to you. You look that over and tell me from
Right.
the expect. I want to get his perspective of, hey, I want to do this. Did this help you in that direction? Now, there's uh, one buddy of mine's like, well, you could do this and do that. I says, yeah, but that's going to take it from 5 to 6 pages, chapters, to 20 or 30. That might
Yeah.
be the next step.
Right.
Just keep it simple so I can throw it on the e-read.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make a whole lot of money. I'd like to get some printed off for my classes and such when I do classes, just as a reference. Does
Honestly,
that make
that would
sense?
probably no, yeah, totally. And I feel like I would totally like to read that because I might need to pick your brain if I'm writing a fantasy book that has blacksmithing in it. So,
Um, we'll have to talk later because I do have an idea.
okay.
So maybe something we can collab on the future. That would be.
Okay.
I do
Perfect.
have. Yeah. It might be a little more spicier though, but
That's okay.
but I had some. I'll have to go back and see if I can find my notes on some stuff. But I have an idea along that line, kind of thing.
Okay.
That would be fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
But where was I? Urge squirrel moment. That, folks, is what we call a squirrel moment. Off to the subject here.
Yeah.
So
I'm
what
really
can?
good at those.
So what other books do you like besides romance? I mean, what do you?
Um, I mean, I like I said, I like fantasy. And I mean, the stuff I read, it doesn't have to have romance. I like it with a little bit of romance, but it's not necessary. But I love fantasy and I love like dystopian, apocalyptic. I love all that kind of stuff.
That's the
So
word I was looking for. That's what it's called, the walk. Because you have to walk home. That is
right.
the dystopian. That is the word I was looking for. That's the
So you've
genre.
got yeah,
Yes,
dystopian and post apocalyptic are kind of hand in hand.
that is exactly um the walk is about. And
Okay.
I'll send you a little bit to read on that. So,
Yeah, I do. I'd love
um,
to read it.
but anyway, back on it. So so you kind of post-apocalyptic. So you're kind of all over the place. I've been single
Yeah,
for a long time. I don't know how to read women anymore, and quite honestly, it's too much work. I'd rather build
it is a lot of
knives.
work. We're
Reading
complicated
sucks.
creatures.
Uh, um, and everyone's like, "Well, men are just different." Oh, not really, because a man can literally go out in the woods, dig a little one-room hut with a fireplace in one corner, a bed over here, a little nook, look out the window, and live perfectly happy. And I think some women just see that and go, "Ah, God, I ruined man's life." No, just kidding, just kidding. Um, do you have anything like that in your books? Kind of like that battle of the sexes? I'm living just fine, and a little bit of that, or
um,
is that
I might in some of them a little bit. I'd have to really think about it. But like I have so many books that I've started. I probably have a backlog of like at least 60 or 70. So
nice? So you got plenty of kicking
yeah.
things out. So book number 4 is dropped.
Mhm.
What is book? I mean, how many books in this series do you think is going to
So
be?
this series is complete, but there may be spin-offs with some of the side characters.
Nice.
So
I like. So, book number 4. Who is up next?
that would be the guitarist.
Bow, bow, bow.
Hmm.
Air guitar. That's about all I can do.
Same.
So, walk us through it. Who is the guitarist a little bit? Give me an idea who he is. Put me in his mindset.
So he is a very he has some serious anger issues. He was an alcoholic. He's fresh out of rehab, so he is sober now and he hates it. So he's just very angry and ornery all the time. And also, he's got a lot of guilt of all the things that he did while he was an alcoholic to the people around him. So he's fresh out of rehab. They're starting a new tour, and they have an opener band of a bunch of girls that they think are just pop punk princesses, and they're going to be miserable the whole time. So
Nice.
he's already just angry from the beginning and doesn't want to be there.
And so through that, he's angry. He's in the band. He's probably, single. Um, how does it turn to somebody catch his eye, and how's it, without giving too much away, I mean, from that into, he's into a romance. I'm sure he probably fight it a little bit.
Oh yeah. This is my biggest one where they totally fight it. So they start out as rivals because she is the lead singer slash guitarist of the opening band. And he finds out that because he thinks she's a fake because she's playing this music that it doesn't mean anything to him and he thinks it's stupid. And he finds out that she's actually very talented and she's being kind of contained by the label and the industry to tone herself down and not be herself. And she doesn't get to make the decisions. And he finds that out and he's like, oh, okay. So there's a lot more to her than what I originally gave her credit for.
Nice.
So,
And then does I mean, now this is the end of the number book for number 4, end of this little
mm-hmm,
series. I'm without giving we're not going to try to give away. I guess it brings it all back together, webs all together, kind
mm-hmm,
of thing.
yep,
Sweet.
yep.
Nobody dies. Everybody happy after.
Well, none of the main characters die,
Oh, so cool.
but then there might be a triple homicide that takes place. I don't know.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Now you got me
They might
curious.
be on a little bit of the dark romance spectrum. So
Okay. Okay.
check your trigger warnings.
Take your trigger warning. We're not PC here. That's when I tell people to come take their knife classes, and I'm going to tell us, hey, um, before we say, before they sign the thing, it says, I'm going to tell you right now. One is right now is 100% unrefundable. I am not PC. If you get offended easily, this is not for you. Um,
Right?
but I joke around and I crack jokes and I have a dark sense of humor. You know,
Same.
and somebody here a while back, a few years ago, questioned my parenting skills. I looked him dead in the eye and says, hey, look, 2 out of the 3 kids survived. So I'm doing pretty good. And if you know me, I did lose a child a few years back, but dark humor. That's probably why get along with a lot of veterans and understand their.
Yeah.
I do a lot of work. I have a lot of friends who are veterans, and I just understand their sense of humor. Well, my dad was a veteran, and people else.
Yeah.
It's just like I fit right in, but I'm not a
No, I
veteran.
get it. I'm the same way. And honestly, I think so. My books, people tell me that there's a lot of trauma in my books, which makes sense because I think that's my outlet for my own trauma, is I like to write trauma. So if I have to be traumatized, so do you, I guess. I don't
Hey,
know.
well, it's there. Well, everybody's like, I can't believe you're writing them, but I find that when I do get set down, I'm in that mode to write. I find it very, for me as a therapeutic, it's fun, it's enjoyable. I feel, get that dopamine drip going in there.
Yeah, right.
ADHD, or hyperactive when it was hyperactive when I was in
Yeah,
kindergarten and elementary before they changed the wording again. Then they changed it from
right.
that to something else. But For me, it was fun to write it by hand. It's
Yeah.
challenging. Um, so in your writing, what was one of the biggest challenges so far with all the books you've done? I guess probably this book series is probably one of your right up there. Tell us how you a little bit about that, your challenge on that, getting it there, and how you overcome your stuff to get it there.
Um, honestly, the I mean, because writing
I'm
is
putting her on the
it can be
spot, folks. I mean, I'm just rude.
no, I have to think about how I'm trying to word things, or else it'll just come out in gibberish. So,
Hey, that's all right. Have you heard
um,
me talk?
I'm right there with you. I do that all the time. My husband always makes fun of me. He's just like, it's a good thing I know you and I can understand what you're trying to say. I'm like, well, here we are.
If you want to, that's one in the dating world. It took them a little while to finally learn how to speak Mike, and when they realize they speak Mike, and like, yes. And
You understand me.
then afterwards, they
No,
usually
but
run away. But anyway, go ahead.
I think because like I said, I like to write trauma, so there's a lot of emotional baggage that comes with my writing. Um, People always tell me, they're like, you need to warn people to have a box of tissues handy, and I'm like, well,
No, we want to surprise them. Well,
I know,
it's kind of like
surprise.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sidetrack squirrel.
Go ahead.
A friend of mine, she sent me a video of some guy out in the forest somewhere, and he finds a tree star. He's like, I found a tree star. Da-da-da-da.
Aw.
And I got thinking
Oh
the
no.
age-old joke, traumas, the movie that traumatizes a kid, Land Before Time.
Yep. Yep.
You know, yeah,
Uh
Born in
huh.
'85. So that movie I was like 3, 4 years old when that movie came out. Of course,
Yeah,
that's when
I
the
remember.
generation was traumatized. I was being a
Right.
so I put on Facebook, you know, the generation, or however I did it, I can't remember right off the hand, but basically, the generation that was traumatized by Land Before Time are now, guess what?
Hmm.
I'm traumatizing you again. You're getting older. You're in your 40s and 50s. I now have grandkids. You get to traumatize a whole new generation, kind of stuff.
Right. Pass
And
on the trauma.
well, yeah, and
I
then
think.
say was like
I think
somebody's like,
my.
"Did I miss something? How's that traumatizing?" It's a
You're like,
joke.
well, first of all, you clearly weren't there. But no,
Yes.
my traumatizing movie from childhood was Never Ending Story with the horse in the
Yep,
swamp.
that's another one.
Yeah, that one wrecked me for a really long time.
I think that's another one I wrecked the generation, the
Yeah,
generation four. God, that's a good
yeah,
movie. I
it
heard they
is.
were
It's
trying
a
to
good movie.
do those
Oh,
movies, and I'm like, no,
they'll never be
no,
the same.
Hollywood, no.
There's some that you just can't redo, like Labyrinth. You can never redo Labyrinth without Bowie. There's no way. There's
I
just a
was
select few that you couldn't.
I saw something that they were thinking about redoing. I can't remember. I saw a glimpse out on Facebook. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
can leave it alone.
like
Now there is some movies in them back in the day that could be revisited and done a little bit. I
yeah,
think Howard the Duck. I liked Howard the Duck back in the one in the '80s. Everybody hated it, but I liked it because I'm just special, not because my mommy told me I am. Um, but yeah, I liked it. But I could see a new modern version. But my worry is though is I used to hate claymation and stuff and puppetry, and now I've gotten older. I can see the movie, but I appreciate because I'm a creator, work with stuff.
yeah,
I never occurred to me what the work I did to create the puppeteering, like the labyrinth
yeah.
and Howard the Duck, how they did everything on there.
Right.
Um, if they could kind of do a little bit of both, kind of take how they
Yeah.
used to. We'll take not Interstellar. Um, Hail Mary. They
Oh,
didn't
I
get.
haven't seen that yet.
Oh, I liked
I
it.
know. I need
I was
to. I
kind of
need to
judgmental
see
at
it.
first, but bring some tissues.
I've
Uh,
heard it's really good.
the daughter, she was bawling through it, and I thought it was funny. But of course, I'm like, "You're not crying. I'm not crying. You're crying."
I'm
Um,
sure I'll cry because I cry about everything. So,
yeah, that's all right. I mean, hey, better than keeping it bottled up and ended up at 5 o'clock
well,
just like you fed your husband through a wood
yeah.
chipper. I mean,
Well, lucky me, all of my emotions are hardwired to my tear ducts. Like I'm sad, I cry. I'm happy, I cry. I'm mad, I cry. Like it's great.
I think that
Love it.
crying is part of the essential of processing it in your head. If people get
Yeah.
mad and they don't cry at some point, of course, men are told, "Suck it up, boy, don't you cry."
Right.
Maybe that's the reason why men die earlier.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe they need to cry more.
probably. But we've been
Probably.
yelled at and said, "Don't you cry, boy? I'll give you something to cry about." And
Right.
but anyway, that
Yeah. We just totally segued clear to
the audience
freaking
just went
Zimbabwe there.
disappeared. Um, well, I was going somewhere with that. God, I hate when I get scrolled, but you know, so
Yeah.
not only so your books, and it sounds like to me, not only they're getting in touch with emotions and in touch with the character, but they're actually getting more in touch with you. It sounds like because you've put
Yes.
yourself
Yeah.
through your writing. You've used your experiences, and that's how I base off mine off of survivalism, off of listening to different books on how
Hmm.
they kind of did their kind of writing and how to stage a scene. And I never watched anything. And there was a in a scene in my book, he comes up on a situation he had to take a detour back towards the freeway, and he wanted to avoid the
Okay.
freeway because it's been over 72 hours. People, well, we've seen what COVID done to people.
Right.
Dumb, stupid. I mean, we still had things intact a little bit, but imagine if you remove everything:
Yeah.
no power, no running water, no internet, no
Right.
music. I mean, there are books and everything else. Can't go to the grocery store, no gas. You remove all the creature comforts of society today,
Hmm.
people will go back to their basic instinct. As soon as their belly starts
Oh
grumbling
yeah.
for 2 or 3 days, we're
Yep.
animals. We're back to being
Oh,
savages.
absolutely.
Um, so he's trying to move that, and of course, um, again, I grew up with a survivalist family.
Right.
You got to learn how to survive. So you got taught things growing up, how you move, like when you're hunting, but you move hunting like you're in combat.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you an idea. It was fun growing up there because, you're a kid, you think military stuff's fun and really cool. But you don't understand the hell of the war till later in life. But,
Right.
how you move, he's coming around this little bend. He sees a bunch of crows flying overhead and here's a dog barking and he's kind of working his way around. And I screenshot of that a little bit, sent it over to a buddy of mine who's been in combat. My dad's read it. My dad said I did a really good job, and a couple other veterans that read it, they liked it. They gave me a little tips and I put some editing notes to the side to help kind of give it how you would move around this to keep so you can see, but they're not going to see you in this
Yeah.
situation. But there's a little insight to my the walk there.
Okay.
Um, um, oh God, I hate being. Ugh. Anyway, so I'm assuming that's how some of the stuff you came up with in your books and the
Right.
romance part of it. Um,
Yeah.
so your first series is done. How's that
Yes.
feel to you?
Crazy. Like it's so cool though. Like,
You do this
because
like, am
it's
I dreaming? Am I dreaming?
yeah, for real. Because it's been a lifelong dream for so long to be published, and I have not only a book, but I have a whole series out. Like that's just crazy.
So where do you go from here? I mean, I'm assuming you want to keep writing. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah.
dusting off a
Yeah.
few of those previous manuscripts and revisiting.
I started to, and then I have a very overactive imagination, so I may or
There's
may not
no
have laid.
such thing.
I
Take
laid
that
in bed
back.
one night and came up with like a 21 book historical romance idea with
Ooh.
a little twist. And now I really want to work on that, but I really want to work on something fantasy. And then I have a dystopian that I want to work on, so I don't know what's coming next.
So, I just get you like a book notebook and start. Hey, this here we're gonna work on this a little bit. Just kind of fill
Yep.
that up. That way you can. Why not? I mean,
I hop back and forth between projects a lot, so
I
it
do
can
too. In
change
the
in a
knife shop,
moment.
there's days there'll be times I'll have things set up and I'm just do boo, 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 boo.
Yeah.
Like you need to focus on one thing. Duck you, I can't.
You're like, tell that to my ADHD, okay?
But somehow at the end of the day, I got a lot done.
Hey,
Like,
that's what's
I mean, I
important.
worked on some stuff. saw something. Oh, we're gonna clean this up, clean that up. Went back to work,
Yeah.
and I managed to get shit done. How I did at the end of the day,
Right.
TFM, pure fucking magic. So,
Pretty much. Yeah.
so with well, we're both ADHD, probably got a little bit of
Yeah.
autism, I guess.
Uh
Um,
huh.
I didn't realize what exactly how kind of ADHD stuff was or anything until I started watching a lot of reels on Facebook of people
Mm.
explaining their condition and everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that right here and right here, I can understand that because that's exactly what I do. Okay, I'm learning shit about myself I didn't know.
Right.
Hey, free
For real
therapy.
though.
Um, so being that, and now you're trying, like you said, trying to work on one thing. What do you do when you really want to sit down and work on something? How do you zone into that and get yourself to focus in there? What is your technique that may help somebody else that's having a really hard time?
Honestly, I have to pick something that I'm interested in that moment, or it's just not going to happen. That's just the way my brain works. I can't force myself to work on something that I don't want to work on. So maybe I'm not the best person to give advice about it, but
No,
I
that's
have to be
understandable
interested in it in the moment,
because
because if I'm not, then it's not going to be good. So,
I can relate with that, and that's okay. So what you got into? So let's take that question and we're at it to okay. You're got something you're really interested, and you're focusing on that, and you're really interested. How do you keep the ball rolling? You just keep going in, diving more into it.
yep, just keep going.
So
Just keep
basically,
the ball
hit that
rolling.
dopamine drip, hit dopamine, dopamine.
Yep, pretty much, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Now you're gonna do to try to figure out where you're gonna go from here. Since you did
Yeah.
that, now I guess now is really pushing your books out there. Social media and such like that. ChatGPT
Mhm.
really helps with that. It gives you an idea. You don't necessarily have to use what ChatGPT says to do it,
Right.
but it definitely helped. One thing I do think within the writing film, and everybody's throwing fit about, songwriting. A buddy of mine has been using AI to write and produce songs, and it's like, damn, these are pretty good damn songs. We used it for the
Yeah.
shop and wrote some stuff about Behind the Anvil and the American Bladesmith show. We got an idea for, and it's like, damn, I like that.
Maybe I'll
Um,
have to take some of the lyrics from my rock star books and
hey,
make them into songs.
I don't know what the name of it is. I'm sure just a quick Google search will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure what
I'm
it
sure.
was. He said it
I've
was.
heard of a couple. Like I've seen ads for one that was like Suno or something, and then another one, but I can't remember. I don't know.
Just Google it. Put it in Google.
Yeah,
Ask AI.
just
It'll tell you.
a little googly woogly.
I'm sure there's free ones out there because he does it all. He sent me one today that basically was the theme song of today. Because unfortunately, I'm taking another job back going back home coal. Not 100% thrilled about it, but hey, I need to do stuff. Got things to take care of. Business is
Right.
really, really slow. Nobody wants to see this on OnlyFans. Nobody's buying the feet pics anymore. So you got to do what
Dang
I.
it.
I'm a little. A couple of years ago when I went for had to go literally had to go get a job regardless.
Yeah.
Um, it hit real hard with me and it screwed with me, and I let myself screw with my own mind instead of just, hey, it's okay. We can do this for a while. And
Yeah.
I went from one job to another job, and then I went and said screw that and went back to knife making. Now I've got okay, let's go do something else. And I'm going to use this. I'm focusing myself to hey, let's take this job as an opportunity. Pause the shop a little bit, regroup, build the bills back, get everything caught back up. I'm not
Yeah.
behind, um, but
Yeah.
get somewhere. Use it as a pause, kind of regroup, and if that makes any sense, kind of like
Yeah.
getting through writer's block. Oh, speaking of which, what have what have you used to circumvent writer's block?
I don't really get writer's block. Kind of like going back to what I said before, I just have to find the right project and then it just
We'll see
flows.
how you are because I've had that a lot. Um, but that's cool. So Next project, you got one picked out, or
No, I'm trying to decide. I don't know. I have too many ideas. So
have
I
you
don't
ever
know what.
got to dabble with science fiction?
I actually so I have one that it's kind of a mix of fantasy and science fiction. And I thought about doing that one too, but I'm not really sure where it's going. So I don't know, man. I'm just here.
Right. I'll have to find one. I used AI. I came up with an idea, and it's funny as shit to write it out. Kind of I wanted to try to turn it into a little reels. I was trying to write scripts for reels, and then have
Yeah.
it generate so I can throw it on there so people kind of something different. Because that's what behind the anvil is behind the anvil is stuff I'm interested. I'm interested in writing. I'm interested
Right.
in space. You know, I love Star Trek.
Oh, that's awesome.
After 15 years of kicking it down the road to buy one of these, I got the Enterprise D and I got Enterprise, the original Enterprise. I want to collect all of
Nice.
them. Um, I wish I had the money to buy a 3D printer to print off my own kits and then put them together
Yeah.
and then paint
That
them
would be
up.
cool.
Just haven't got that far. I'll have to learn how to code for that. But you can actually just buy print and I
Yeah.
like SpaceX. I really like the space program that's going on right now. I think it's
Yeah.
absolutely hilarious. People are like, well, we didn't go to the moon. Da da da. We didn't have the technology. We did. Da, da, da. I'm like, you're saying that America, when we wanted to do something, I mean, look at the Hoover Dam back in the 30s. You ever watch a
Yeah.
documentary on how they built the Hoover
Oh
Dam?
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
how did they do that? We don't have the technology.
Right?
Um, and it's there. I mean, that is a massive. I mean, wow! Watch.
Yeah.
It was like a 3 hour documentary, and I was glued to it. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. You're saying we could
Yeah.
build a dam, which is easy. I mean, yeah, space is hard,
Right.
but we had that project. We did that. Did they know how to build a dam? No. I mean,
They figured it out.
they came along with some stuff as they were building it too. From
Yeah.
this documentary, but um, there were so many people working and then that you don't think that one person would have squilled and said yes it was really on a thing. Well, that's how people disappeared. Yeah, there's some sure people disappeared, like if
Yeah.
especially if you got on the bad side of the Clintons, you disappeared, you know, suicide, 2 taps the back of the head.
Right.
I
Right.
digress. I'll go over my shoulder, make sure they're coming after me.
I know, right?
But I don't know, what do you think about, did we go to the moon? Just out of
You
curiosity.
know, I'm really torn about it because sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, we totally did, and then sometimes I'm like, well, I go back and forth on it a lot, but I'm like a huge conspiracy theorist,
Oh
so
God, yes. Love good conspiracy. I grew up on Coast to Coast AM. George Norrie, Art Bell, may he rest in peace. Clyde Lewis on Ground Zero Radio.
yeah,
All the guys and such. Listening to them for years growing up.
right.
Um, Bigfoot, love Bigfoot. Been to Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah,
Um, so, but
yeah.
yeah, I just it's there's so much shit to do and everything else. It's fun, but it's really cool to see. I think I got the idea of your writing style for these books. I'll send over that. Send me your email, and I'll email it to you through the messenger when
Okay,
we get done.
yeah.
But yeah, oh shit, I think we're kind of hit the end of the road here. Is there anything else you would like to share about your writing, or
I mean, I don't think so.
oh, back to my other thought about AI, and I haven't finished. I think for people that are want to write stuff and they have a real hard time sit down typing or anything else, I think AI is going to help those individual
Yeah,
finally take their imagination, what they come up with their head, and put it out into it
yeah,
and correct
yeah.
it.
I
I
can
mean,
see
you
how
got to
that
go
would
back. You
definitely
can't
help.
just throw it in AI and it's going to print it out. I mean, Doug Barry, I just interviewed yesterday. He used AI to write a science fiction book, but he's like, I went in and wrote it in there, and I had to tell it for each. I had to build it for each chapter and take my thoughts, put it in here, and okay, no, and it's just not like, hey, write a book about the and it kicks out. Yes, you could
Right.
do that, but
it's going to lack the human touch. It's not going to
Yes,
feel
and
authentic.
that's what he, that's what you had to do is he had to go back and add that
Mhm.
human touch to it, to human build that
Yeah.
character. Yes, AI is getting pretty cool and getting better and better and better. Especially when it starts talking back to me and like, oh, that's creepy. But it's learning my AI will learn you. It will write toward you. I've noticed with
Yeah.
ChatGPT, and I've listened to everything. But I think for people that have that handicap, or especially for people who literally can't move their arms or don't have any limbs, to
Right.
use AI. Yes, you can do the voice thing, but maybe they have a speech impediment, but AI is going to be able to help them out with that. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
it's another tool. I don't think it's going to be our
Yes.
overlord like Terminators. I mean, if anything's going to wipe out the human race, it's ourselves. So,
Right.
but
No, I think it can be a really great tool for, under the right circumstances, but
I mean, yes, is it going to replace some jobs? Yeah. Um,
yeah,
I was listening to
that's just how technology goes though.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, people, sitting there taking minutes and such. That job's probably going to go bye bye, or it's going to
Yeah.
simplify people's job, and they're going to be able to do more creative shit for the company.
Right.
Because a couple of buddy of mine, they use AI in their business, in their business and at their companies, helps them get their job done, and sometimes even better.
Yeah.
Um, I just think it's something new, and everybody's like, ah. So
Right. Which
it
I
just,
mean, I don't know. It's a touchy subject, and I think it has its place, but I think it needs to be used responsibly too. You know what I mean?
well, that's like anything. I
Yeah.
mean, the
Right.
most powerful weapon in the world is this right here,
Yep.
and the winners write the history, and that right there,
Yep.
like they say, the pen is mightier than the sword. You might strike me down with your sword, but I'm going to dismantle you with my words. I mean,
Yep.
look, I mean, you can look at what happened to people, and didn't leave a journal or something like that. I mean, people can literally, I mean, this here destroys lives.
Yep.
The,
Oh
the
yeah.
sword is mightier than, or the pen is mightier than the sword. I mean, you put stuff on there, and you can ruin people's lives by
Oh
writing a
yeah.
false
Absolutely.
accusation or whatever.
Yep.
That makes sense.
No, absolutely.
God, I hope so. You ever sit there and think that you say a thought and you're pretty passionate about it, and then you stop, and after you get it out, I'm like, wait a second.
Did that make any sense at all?
Did you understand that? Yeah, yeah, it did.
No, I did.
So, so I'm going to put you on the spot again, girl. For those
Okay.
who are writing like you, wants a got an idea for romance, spicy or non-spicy or really spicy. What are some of your words of wisdom to pass on to future writers that's going to listen to this, or maybe your kids down the road? You're going to catch her this year's down and listen to moms. Leave advice for your kids. Leave your advice for those who are aspiring writers from either using AI or handwritten quill. I thought that would be fun too, is get an ink quill and write it
Right?
that way. But
That would be
I'm going to
cool.
turn this over to you for the next 5, 10 minutes or however long, and I want you to just kind of devise out some words of wisdom,
Well,
some
I don't know
advice.
about 5 or 10 minutes, but
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
I think the biggest advice I can give is just do it. Because like I sat for a long time on so many projects, and I wrote a ton through like middle school, high school, and then I just kind of tapered off and I didn't do it as much. Then I got married and I had kids, and life gets busy. And then I only really picked it up again when my husband encouraged me to. Because he's just like, I know you're good. Just do it. Get it out there. And I was just like, yeah, but what if nobody wants to read it, nobody likes it? And he's just like, well, how are you going to know if you don't just do it and get it out there? You could be sitting on a gold mine that people are going to love and you don't even know it. So,
Even if they didn't, it's still something that you've done, and
right,
you can look
exactly.
back, and then your kids can look at it, and your grandkids will be able to. It's like making knives, you know, 2 or 3 generations from me, somebody's going to run into my work and say, "Hey,
Yeah,
my grandpa made
exactly.
that. My great grandpa made that." So,
Yeah.
So push through it. Just do it and not worry about the fear of it. But anyway, go back
Yeah.
to you.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. And then I mean, other than that, you're kind of leaving a little bit of a legacy behind. Like
Hmm.
you said, they'll pick up a knife and be like, "Oh, my grandpa made that," or they'll pick up my book and be like, "Oh, my grandma wrote that." So it's a like, because obviously, if you have kids and a family, you're leaving a legacy behind that way, but you're leaving something a little bit more than that also. So
And also with the book is that they can. Grandma's been gone for a few years. Eventually we're all going to take a nap and go on to the great beyond because, well, that's just how life is. They're going to be able to read
yeah,
that science fiction, whatever book you've written, your book so far, and get to know grandma, great grandma.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like I mean, I think everybody should. I ought to do the same thing, practice what I preach. We've been trying to get my dad. He's done it on and off, trying to get him to write down the stories of what my grandpa told him,
yeah,
stuff from his war. Trying to get him to get all these stories done. I think everybody needs to start journaling again. Not
yeah.
necessarily
I do too.
online. Just get back. Just take 5 minutes and write out. It doesn't have to be your daily stuff. I mean, my grandpa kept a journal. It was kind of interesting to read some of those and read some of these. That way, they get to know you when you're gone. Maybe leave some words of
Yeah,
wisdom. Record family history that way a little bit.
yeah.
Stories, fun stories. On this one
I
half,
think it would be neat.
you know, on this one hiking trip, somebody got into something, sneezed so hard they got a bloody nose, whatever, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, just the
Uh,
day to day stuff.
so, for your advice is to, hey, if you got an idea, sit down and write it. I would say add to that as who gives a shit what anybody thinks.
Exactly.
That was my same problem. I had a friend. Um, she was my inspiration to get. I told her about it because I was daydreaming. I like to daydream when I was driving. You can
Yeah,
only listen to so much music. You can only listen to talk radio. There's so many books on tape, and so
right.
that's how I came up with this deal. Is well with one 2012 back when they finally figured out that North Korea could hit us with nukes and possibly EMPs.
Yeah,
And I got thinking, well, if I get stuck between here and Vegas and or here in Rifle, I got the survivor's mentality. Could I live off the land? Not so much in the desert. So you would want to leave caches or whatever. If I was going to continue that job, I probably would have done something like that.
yeah,
And so I'm doing that, and I was like, hey, I got something else. So I just started daydreaming about this character and how he would did that character building in my own head. And I was telling my
hmm
friend one night we were visiting. I tell her about this idea about a book and da 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 because she's wrote little books as well.
yeah,
And she's like, I we went and hung out the night before. And the next thing you know, it's 5 a.m. We're sitting there talking about the whole thing. And I was breaking it
yeah,
down. Of course, she's finally proud of me. And after a few months, I finally went and got some books and sit down and I've got three notebooks, two full and one three-quarters away. So I would say I'm three-quarters
nice,
writing my book, trying to keep it down to 200 page a book or something like that. I don't know. I don't. My friends talk about word count, and I'm like, huh? Well, you ever thought about word count?
right?
No, I'm just writing the story. I'm not gonna. That's what it meant.
Everybody's so focused on word count. I'm like, it'll be as many words as it takes to tell the story.
And
Like,
then she's like, well, most books are this, most books that. Okay, I get that. When I want to capture the audience, I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad in our area because when the character gets to home, um, spoiler alert, I'm going to decimate this valley because I'm going to explain human nature.
yeah,
Part of my part of my idea about writing this book is I want people to think because nobody learned after 2020. People clean the
yeah,
You know, I grew up listening to 7 years minimum preach, 7 years food supply. Well, it's kind of dwindled. Well, have 72 hours. Well, 72 hours ain't going to work very well when if things get decimated in an EMP. You know
right,
what I mean?
right, yeah.
So, um, yeah, I'm going to piss off people. Well, our community would be like, no, you remove.
You, yeah,
I mean,
you underestimate the lizard brain of humans.
yes. I mean, the carnal man, and I'm hungry. You got food. I'm going to
Hmm.
take this rock, I'm going to smash you and take your food. Uh,
Exactly.
I mean, somebody with their belly empty is the most dangerous thing in the world. So,
Yeah. Well, when it comes down to either you're going to live or I'm going to live.
right. And I'm probably going to eat you
So,
when I'm done.
yeah.
So, well, Stephanie, I don't want to keep, wow. That was it. We went, that extra half hour went by quick. See when you
Oops.
get chatty. That's awesome. So again, hey, drop all your social media, where your website, where can they find you? Where can they follow you? Um, and is there any place that people can go to support your work? I mean, I don't know if you have any kind of fundraiser or something you
I
can donate
mean,
to help get it
nothing
out there.
along those lines, but
Okay.
books are on Amazon. I have a website, www.slkunz.com. All my socials are linked on there. My Amazon's are linked on there, but I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, um, all the things. So
Awesome. So jump on TikTok. I'm guessing you're gonna read off a little snippets here and there of stuff to maybe.
I, I mean, I don't like read them, but I have like quotes and stuff posted and whatnot.
Very cool.
So
Very, very, very cool.
yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time. I hope I did your book justice and trying to get things done. I'm still learning
Oh
here,
yeah,
and I'm having fun. I
that's
really
fine.
don't. You know, I had a couple of people. Oh, you need to get more script and research and write more questions down. It's like that sounds like work. No, you know, that doesn't make it sound
Yeah,
like fun. Now, if I had a crew or it was like if I was like getting
right.
into Sean Ryan or Joe Rogan, which are two podcasts, or I'm like vision wheel, or I want to be on those shows. I would love to
Yeah,
get on there. I don't know if I really got a story to tell. I'm sure I do, but I don't know. It's kind of one of my things like that'd be cool. Imagine myself being there and
that
then,
would be cool.
or and a few other podcasts as well. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah. So again, one more time with your website.
www.slkunz.com. So SLKUNZ.
KNZZ, not the CON. Uh,
Nope.
because I had to translate in my head when you say that. But
Yeah,
all
I
right,
get
let's
that
get
a
out of
lot.
here. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go make some more spaghetti. That just sounds good, right?
Oh, does
So,
actually.
yes, very much food. I need to do a food podcast. Ooh,
You should.
I'm actually gonna. I'm gonna message a buddy of mine who does B movies. I built a couple of weapons for it too, and I got an axe. And
Oh,
so go check out Brain Hunter,
okay.
the new breed, and the creature that's got the axe. I made that axe. I made that axe.
That's so cool.
So.
I'll have to check it out.
All right, girl, let's punch out of here. And remember, as we say in the shop, America, stay sharp. Did I say, as we say in the shop, America, stay sharp. Good Lord, words are hard. Make fun of it. I don't care. Remember, then also, there's only one King, and that's Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. If you want to get to know him a little bit more, reach out. I'll be glad to talk to you. I know I'll share what I know, my testimony. Anyway, catch you again next time behind the anvil. We'll catch you all later.